Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a little behind the scenes video for my YouTube grind rap video. People have been asking me a lot of questions about it. Fair warning, it's going to be long and rambling. So if that's not your thing, this is not your video. We will easily hit 10 minutes probably or so in this video. So let's just get right into it, and then let's talk about how I made this. One more thing before I begin. This is going to focus on the editing aspects of it and the effects kind of part. So if you want to know about the camera work, sorry, I didn't film any behind the scenes stuff with the camera work, but I'll be happy to answer questions on that. So you can always ask them in the comments. I guess just, you know, the big things, I filmed it all in the 60D. I used mainly the 24 to 70mm lens, but a little bit with a 50mm and a little bit with the 10mm wide angle. So let's get started here. First thing, of course, I had to make the song. So I made it in GarageBand. The beat was created by YouTuber King Atlas 89. He basically said that anyone who was going to do the TLD Today contest could use his beat. But then I sent him an email just to make sure he was okay with it. And I kind of just, you know, wrote the song as I was actually rapping for the most part. And of course, I use the term rapping loosely. And then here's what the final product sounds like. So you can see there's a lot of like distortion and stuff in my voice. Without the effects, it does not sound nearly as cool. So if we turn up the effects here. When I film, you know I keep it tight. I got my slider moving smoother than Barry White. Yep, that sounds pretty bad. So the effects I did the telephone line effect, and then I put in an amp simulation, the big wheel simulation here. So that's what I did, and you see that it gives it that great scratchy kind of sound. So it makes it sound, you know, cool and not really lame as the original sounded like. So once I had the track all laid down, I did all the filming, and you know, I filmed from different angles, doing different kind of scenes and in different ways, experimenting with different stuff, and then it was time to do the edit, of course. The big thing for me with the editing was getting the color grading right. I watched actually a lot of rap videos to see what kind of styles they used, and you know, they did a lot of jump cuts, a lot of like weird transitions such as film burns, which is what I ended up using, and a lot of flares. So I tried to do all those things, but you can see this is what the original footage looked like, and it is a lot different from the final version. You know, I use Magic Bullet Looks to do all the color grading, and that's probably one of the program I recommend the most for anyone who wants to do color grading stuff. But you can of course do it with other things out there. So the look I did basically, you know, I brought down the blacks, brought the contrast up, and then added this cool anamorphic flare guy here. And you'll notice in my original footage, I always shoot in what's called a flat picture style. I actually use the one from Technicolor. So what it means is that everything is kind of a little desaturated. You can see both the, you know, the shadows and the highlights, and that gives you the most leverage and the most wiggle room when you bring it in to actually do your color grading to really get the look that you're going for. And that's what you know, I'm on that YouTube grind. Got my subs growing all the time now. You can see I actually like said the lyrics even though I was lip syncing, because that's it. I tried doing it without actually saying the lyrics, and it turns out like you know, your mouth won't move right, and it doesn't actually match up very well. So I actually got a little hoarse doing this, you know, making this video, having to scream that song multiple times for multiple takes. So let's talk about those transitions. Let's talk about the film burns that I used. If you're not familiar with what a film burn is, it's just these, you know, these color little things right here. It looks like the film is burning, hence the name film burn. I got them from free from this website, Digital Cinema Foundry. They actually sell a set as well, and I'm thinking about buying it because I really liked them. Yeah, it's like $39 for the set for if you want to buy the 1080 resolution set. But the 720p version worked pretty well for me. So, and you can see what I did was bring it in a little. I basically, you know, put keyframes for the opacity level, had the opacity peak right where I wanted the transition to happen, and then it comes back down and then goes into the next video. So you could change the speed of this to, you know, make it look, you know, as fast or as slow as you want, depending on the look you're trying to get in your video. So the next big challenge was the green screen portion, and I did all that with After Effects. So here's, you know, here's me just doing the thing all keyed out. This is what it looked like. Here's the original footage right here. So obviously I had to shoot this with a widescreen as well, just to get all of me, not widescreen, I had to shoot it with a wide lens just to get all of me in the footage. But once that happened, it's pretty easy to bring things into After Effects and key things out. I used the Keylight plugin, of course. And it's not super clean. You can see there's some spots that are bad, but you don't really notice them in the final video. Then the final composition, like something like this, I basically just did a fill layer of that bright green, and then added this camera with 2 Easy Ease keyframes there to, you know, start off tight and bring me out. And luckily, the quality is good enough on an SLR usually that you can kind of crop that footage just a little bit, and I mean, you know, zoom in a little tighter than the original footage, and it won't look too bad. So that's how I got like the tight shot in the beginning, even though it wasn't originally filmed that way. And then just brings out. After that, it came back into Final Cut, and I did some more color grading and added the vignette you see around the green screen, just so it didn't look super bright green. Kind of gave it a little more of a shadowed kind of appearance, which I think turned out pretty good. So there you guys have it. I'm sure there's might be some other questions out there on how I did some of the things, and you can always leave them in the comments, send me an email, and I will do my best to get back to you guys. I also want to, you know, thank you guys for all the great feedback I got on this video. I totally like made it as, you know, kind of a joke, but it was really fun to do because it let me shoot and edit and do effects that I normally don't do on my normal style video. So I actually learned a lot filming it and editing it, and that's always the main thing for me. I love to learn new things, you know, and be forced to learn new things by what my, you know, brain is trying to make my hands create. So yeah, thanks for watching as always, guys, and I will see you soon in the next video. Later.